Hi, I'm Duncan Moss, and I'd like to welcome you to my latest YouTube channel presentation. Today, I'm going to be talking about the new Paul McCartney album, One Hand Clapping. This is not. This is a very interesting title. That is the front cover of the album, both the vinyl and CD. I know a lot of people don't like the artwork. I think it's quite good, but I think it'd be nice if it had a bit of colour to it. There's a lot of people who can review the album much better than I can, so I'm not even going to bother to actually review the album. Just to say that it is I've played it about 3 or 4 times, both discs, because it's a double album, and it is just beautiful musicianship, very, very pleasant on the ears, and a very nice album you could have during dinner. You could have it up, and the chances are, if you're a young person, mum and dad aren't going to say, "We'll turn that down." The songs breathe very beautifully through whatever equipment they used when this work was done some 50 years ago. A highlight for me, maybe I'm amazed. It's like Paul has been is in a dungeon or something. He's been locked in a dungeon, and he's singing because his voice has an echo, like he's in a cave or something. But it's beautiful. It works really well. There isn't a bad track on the album. The musicianship is superb. I'm very pleased for Jeff Britton, because he's always been known as the Wings drummer who didn't last very long. And he's on the whole of this project. And I think it's the first album that the only work that will have him on the whole of the project, because he only lasted about 7 months with Wings. I think it's just a lovely piece of work. Fans will love it, and it's the sort of thing you could buy a friend who perhaps to introduce Paul to, if they don't know much of Paul's work, or just a friend who likes Paul McCartney but is not a die-hard fan. It sort of wins on every level. Great stuff, and a lovely thing to celebrate. It really is coming out on the 50th anniversary. A lot of stuff got delayed because of COVID, but this is coming out for 50th anniversary. And it was a few months later, I think Wings would be starting on a project would become Venus and Mars, which would get released in the spring, because One Hand Clapping was done in the summer of 1974. Venus and Mars would come out in the spring of 1975. Wonderful album with "Listen to What the Man Said" as the main single. And what happened was that Jeff played on about 3 tracks on the album, but then the rest of the drumming is done by replacement drummer Joe English, who is they're both very fine drummers. In One Hand Clapping, I think Jeff's work is absolutely breathtaking. And there would be times when Joe would also do some breathtaking drumming. Silly Love Songs is one of the ones that comes to mind. There we go. We've just got one more thing to talk about before I go, because this is not going to be very long. And I know that a lot of people have done video blogs about this, so I hope mine is a little bit different. I picked up this album. I bought it from Japan. It's Paul McCartney and Wings, the 1975 Australian broadcast, and it's with them in where they were playing. I think they played in Melbourne. I don't know whether this album is actually kosher, whether it's official or not, but it's the quality's lovely, and it's a very nice sort of addition to my collection. It's got all the Venus and Mars stuff on it, but nothing from Wings at the Speed of Sound, which would come in the spring of 1976. Paul is very good interacting with the audience, and also there's Jimmy McCulloch and Denny Lane together interact also very well with the audience and introduce songs and make little jokes, and it works beautifully. So I haven't been arrested or had the knock at the door or there's someone saying you've got an illegal disc with you. There's also one available from Japan, which is the 1973, where of course there'll be a different lineup with Wings. There'll be Denny Sewell as on drumming and Henry McCulloch on guitar, and it just shows what a super little band Wings were. People say, "Oh, the poor man's Beatles." Well, you don't know what you're talking about. It's a super album. My only regret is that perhaps there weren't more Wings albums being made. One, maybe an album where Paul could have just opened the album with the first single, and then the second and third singles could be a Denny Lane track and a Jimmy McCulloch track. There are little gaps in the Wings releases, and that's where they could have put a few more things out. But we were blessed. I think they had 7 albums, so they did pretty well. And I'm looking forward to the London Town and Back to the Egg deluxe editions when they come out. I'm happy for they come out on the 50th anniversary. I'll live with that. Basically, if you'd like this video, then please tick the like button. You're very welcome. I'd love you to subscribe. It'd be lovely to have you aboard. And look forward to a friend. As I say, one hand clapping gets the thumbs up, I think, from everybody. All right, we'll find someone who doesn't like it. There always is someone around, but we'll have to. But I think that it's pretty positive. So well done, Sir Paul. Okay, lovely to see you all, or to interact with you. I'll see you soon. God bless.